Who is Elvis Piggott? All right. This is You Can't Make This Shit Up, J&Washington's flagship podcast. And this is David Washington and our associate Cedra. And she's going to introduce our guest, Elvis Piggott, candidate for Hillsborough County School Board, District 5.
Hello, Mr. Elvis Piggott. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. How you doing today?
Oh, great. Fantastic. Can you please tell us about yourself?
I'm Elvis Piggott. I'm running for Hillsborough County School Board District 5. I'm a local pastor in Hillsborough County. I've been pastoring, senior pastor for 18 years. Also, we have a location in Houston, Texas, the second church location there. And so basically what I've done for 18 years, advocated and communicated with families, with the schools, leadership, administration, district employees to make sure that our students were served appropriately and had resources that was necessary. Also, what we've done, our church has adopted 4 of those schools where we supply back to school event. We do back to school book bags, supplies, all of those things. And so pretty much I've been in the community. We have a mentor program that I have been a part of, which was Elite Men of Tomorrow, as well as Gentlemen Scholars, 4th grade individuals. Just really in the community, on the ground, making things happen each and every day. And so I decided to jump in this race and be the next Hillsborough County School Board for District 5.
That's great.
That's impressive. So is this your very first election or have you run before?
I have ran for office before. I ran for this seat in 2020. I did not win this seat. It was a 4-way race in this seat. We did not win this seat, but we knew we was determined to come back. I was running at that time in 2020 against an individual that had been in the school system for 40 years, that had really been a pillar to our community, and had longevity and long standings with pretty much, whether he had helped people drive, whether he had went from assistant teacher to area superintendent, all of those things was a major factor in our process of running the first time. And even though that's the incumbent, the people have requested and see that it's time for change. It's time for something different.
Your connection is...
Your connection was a little bit bad there in that last part of your sentence. Do you mind repeating that?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So basically the people just decided that it's time for something different. It's time for change now in this seat.
Okay. So you're facing Henry Washington and Tamara Schomburg. Hopefully I'm not butchering her name. Again, you face Mr. Washington's the incumbent, and Ms. Schomburger ran also. What's the difference this time?
Well, this time, Tamara Schomburg is a write-in candidate. So we realized the write-in candidate, she's not on the ballot. And so her chances of winning is probably the chances of John Kennedy winning president, which is absolutely not at all. And so we understand, which Henry Washington, I think the community wanted to give him a chance. I think the community wanted, after 40 years of education, they wanted to give him an opportunity to see what he actually can produce and what changes he can make within the district that he worked in for so long. Well, unfortunately, they've seen that nothing has changed. The district has got worse versus getting better. And so I think now at 75 years old, he's done a great job. I think the people realize that it's time for something different. Someone in the seat that can actually relate to our youth, someone in the seat that can understand that it is the generation of the 30s, the 36s that actually have kids in the school system. No longer is it the kids of Henry Shake Washington time. And in order to be effective, you got to know how to reach the generation of where they are. And I think that's the big disconnect now.
Do you have a question?
I have a question, but that's related to basically school board elections nowadays. So, can you please tell us about your school board campaigns? How's everything going on?
The campaign is going wonderful. Like we said today, we have been, we spent the first time, we got in this race June 14th. June 14th basically was the last day to qualify and the last day to file. It was all strategic. Okay. We was going to run, but we really didn't want to make any noise concerning the campaign. Okay. And so we waited to the very last day when Henry Shake Washington felt and thought that it was already done, that he would not have any opposition. He would go as unopposed and win again. We popped up, right? We just did not want to go on months and months and months and months of campaigning. We spent all of June doing fundraising. We raised about $33,000. We have a ways to go, but we did that. Midnight is the last day to even raise funds. So we've been raising funds. The campaign has been going, the reception, going to the events, going to the forums. That's another thing. We've had forum after forum after forum in this district since I've gotten that race. And the incumbent has not showed up to one forum, has not showed up to one event, have not showed up to anything containing the district. And so that speaks volumes. One, we understand that he don't have the stamina to do it. At that age to actually go to all of these things. And if you don't have the stamina to actually go to forums, you really can't have the stamina to go to 83 schools, right? To really be involved with schools and teachers and administration and students of 250,000 students in the district. And so that's one of those things. But our campaign, we've been canvassing. Today is a canvassing day. We're going to finish up and wrap up our canvassing today, knocking on doors, about 1,000 doors, letting people know that we're on the ballot, sending out texts, sending out robocalls, letting the people know that early voting was August 5th through the 18th. Sunday is the last day to vote early, and we'll wait on August 20th, the election day, and look at the results.
Elvis, is your election at large or is it district specific?
It's a district, it's a direct district, which is District 5. It's not countywide, it's not an at-large seat. The thing about District 5 is very unique. District 5 encamps pretty much African American generation. It's a generational population. It's pretty much a black seat. On the city council, you get one African American seat. On the school board, you get one African American seat. On city council, you get one African American seat. District 5 is that one black seat. The problem, and very uniquely in this one black seat that really speaks of the black community, it's a little disgraceful when you don't have someone in the black seat that will advocate and fight for black. You only get one. And if you're not that voice, we're in trouble. And if you're not that voice when it comes down to empowerment, resources for parents, resources for students, making sure our schools, we started school back Monday, August the 12th. When we went back into school, many students went into their school beautified, beautiful mulch, beautiful grass, beautiful paint, nice art, balloons, radio. But District 5 students went back to no soap, no paper, nothing going on in the school.
Oh, wow.
That's unacceptable. And we have to have someone to say resources must be going to all of our schools.
Wow. Okay, so I have 2 questions for you. So those are basically related to the language barriers. So my first question is, how do you propose to address the language barriers that non-English speaker students face in accessing the curriculum and extracurricular activities?
Well, first thing we have to do is we have to acknowledge that there's a problem. And I think a lot of times things go completely, the lack of acknowledgement of these issues, you don't get to fix these issues. I think what I want to do is when I'm a board member is actually address the issues that's at hand. acknowledge that we have a problem within District 5 and within our district. How are we going to retain good teachers? How are we retaining good coaches? How are we retaining people that can be able to deal with language barriers? And what resources are we providing for families to make sure that families are connected with us in the process of their children playing sports, their children in classes? So I think the biggest thing is acknowledging it, and then you can address it by not only with district employee help, but also with community help, also with business partnerships. What are things we can do? We have to get creative in this generation to do what's necessary to make sure all of our students, number one, feel comfortable. Number two, is being able to communicate on the level that best fits them. And I think that's very necessary.
Okay, thank you so much for the answer. So I have second question that is also related to the language barrier, but it is related to the parents basically. So what initiatives would you introduce to better engage non-English speaking parents in their children's education?
If you could do me one more favor, could you repeat that? What?
Yeah, sure. So my question is, what initiatives would you introduce to better engage non-English speaking parents in their children's education?
I will really, my biggest.
Uh-oh, we seem to have lost Elvis. Hopefully he'll join us.
Yeah.
But so far it's a good conversation. I like the fact that he's kind of juggling
totally
the interview and and also preparing the canvas. It looks like he's back with us.
Yeah.
Let's get him back on board here. He's getting there. But he's spot on. He's trying to do what's necessary to represent his community, first of all. Also, I guess bring a younger, fresher approach.
Yeah. Yes, he's young, he's energetic, so it's a good thing.
Right. Let's see.
He's back.
All right, there we go.
I think someone called me, and so it cut. I just put it on Do Not Disturb.
Okay, thank you so much for that favor.
I'm sorry. So one thing that I would want to address is the initiatives I would do is really community involvement, right? My biggest thing is really engaging our community, engaging business partners, engaging community leaders, whether that's going to be people that, and my biggest thing is this. When we run for office, we reach out to all these businesses, these companies, these organizations, and we ask for their support, we ask for their contributions, and they give it to us. Once we are elected, we cannot allow it to stop there. We got to now go back out to these businesses, whether that's going to be our Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, asking those questions. How could they be able to merge with our schools to make sure that we're able to partner with families and give them resources and provide resources that can help the children in their education as well as the parents? I think the biggest thing that's necessary, again, is the communication and making sure students have the proper communication and the know-how in the process of their child's education. That's what I will work on, an initiative to make sure that everything that we are doing, that we have people at the table that can translate comfortably to parents, that they understand what's going on with their child's education, give us feedback in how we can address those issues to make sure the families know that they're heard, we are sincere, we do care, and we're going to address issues at hand.
Yeah. David, you have questions?
So in your particular race, is it winner take all, or do you need to have 50% plus one in order to end the race?
We need to have 50% plus one. It's myself, Henry J&Washington, and a Caucasian guy, Kenneth Gay, is actually also in this race, which I most definitely don't project to see Kenneth Gay have no chance of winning. Because again, as I said, you only get one African-American seat on the board. That's how it's been since Hillsborough County had a school board. And so I really believe that if it's not 50% plus one, we'll head over to a runoff in November. I'm praying by the good Lord that I can go ahead and finish it up in August on the 20th.
Then, you know, a lot of people, a lot of campaigns are hoping for that. How's the turnout looking for you in your district?
Our turnout isn't good, right? We are at 9% turnout in the
Oh,
entire
wow.
county. And so
Wow, Elvis, for the entire
our
county.
county, Hillsborough County, we was at, when I looked yesterday, real time, we was at 9%. So I don't project those percentages going up drastically overnight.
Sure.
So probably about 10%, 9 point something at this time.
Right. Here in Orange County,
And
here in Orange County, I'm sorry,
about
you were
800,000
saying?
voters.
Okay, okay. Here in Orange County, last time I checked, last night we were at 7%
Wow.
countywide. Yeah, exactly. I'm just scratching my head. I've never seen anything like this. In the spirit of full disclosure, Henry Washington and I share the same last name. However, I don't know Mr. Washington unless I'll get a call from my mom after she sees this episode and tells me, "Hey, that's family." But I just wanted to put that out there that, as far as I know, there's no relationship. So, uh, and we don't want to keep you. However, I have one more question.
Sure.
No problem.
When you do become the next school board member for District 5, what's one of the first initiatives that you really want to make sure makes it to the board and considered by the board and passed by the board?
When I become the school board, the first thing that I'm going to do typically would not even need board approval. The first
Okay.
thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to have a youth advisory board that I'm going to create, which is going to be created by middle school students and high school students. And I'm going to create that advisory board that they'll communicate with me, and we can be able to hear real-time issues happening in those schools. And I'll be able to find out what kind of solutions, along with the community partners on that board, how we can work with our kids. I really want to get to a place where we hear more from students when making decisions.
Excellent.
I think I have one more question for you. So that's just like my last question. I promise, my last question. Okay. So my last question is, what is your long-term vision for the school district, and how do you plan to achieve your goals during your course of your term?
Uh, my goals that I want to achieve is going to take a little bit more than 4 years, which means I'll be on the board a little longer. I anticipate on seeing District 5 on the level of every other district in this school. I anticipate us seeing District 5 schools beautified, looking good, having the resources, technology, having different programs, gospel choirs, cosmetology, different things within our schools that makes our public schools attractive. We can no longer continue to talk about private schools and charter schools if we're not competitive. As a parent, you're going to take your child to the best place that you feel your child is going to be able to learn and get an education. At the end of the day, if we're not being competitive, we're losing parents desiring to have our children in public education. So my goal for District 5, I will stay in this seat until District 5 is thriving like every other district, until we seeing, because we're getting academics put in our schools while they're getting nice football fields put in theirs. We want to make sure that we understand what equity looks like, and we get District 5 up to the level of every other district. So I'm going to work tirelessly to make sure our classrooms look like a place that is inviting for our students.
Oh no,
Second
that
time.
wow. That was, I mean, good timing too. That was right there. But I mean, in essence, we did get, you know,
Yeah.
the answer. And
Yeah.
for our viewers, you know, we really appreciate you all tuning in and hearing what, you know, a local candidate has to
Yeah.
say about his particular race in Hillsborough County School Board. This is what political innovation is all about.
Exactly.
Hopefully, the technology will work out for
Oh,
Elvis.
I think
He's trying to come back into
yeah,
the
he's
studio.
connecting. He's
There
connecting.
we go. We'll get him back
He's
in.
back. He's back.
I guess do not disturb only works when you don't have telemarketing calls, because they come right through. I'm confused. They come right through. Gee whiz.
So
It's that
yeah,
new technology. It's that new technology.
yeah.
Well, we don't want to keep you too much longer. Is there anything, any final words that you want to share with our audience and anyone else who may see this on your socials, et cetera, et cetera? Anything inspiring?
I would just say, you know, in 2002, I went to Middleton High School. And in Middleton High School, I was what you'll call a knucklehead. I was a very energetic student. I ran through the grass, but that would be a man walking through the hall. He would walk through the hall and he would have starch jeans. The cologne would be, I'm talking about strong. It'd be the most expensive cologne. The boots would be actually like cowboy boots, shining. And they would have a voice you revered, you respected, you honored. That person was Henry Shake Washington. He was my,
Oh,
we respected him. We honored him. We looked up to him. We wanted to become. We saw him as a person that we could one day become. And I'm grateful for his life. I'm grateful for his legacy because we as young men needed to see that within our schools.
Yes.
And I say today that our kids of this generation deserve the same. And they cannot have that when we refuse to embrace our promising future, but celebrate our glorious past. We got to celebrate our glorious past, but we must embrace our future. I want to give the young people of today the same opportunity I had then. And that was to see someone that I could mirror, that I can become, and that I can respect and revere. So I ask you all, go to www.elvis4schoolboard.com. Check out our platform. If you want to give a contribution, give a contribution before 12 o'clock tonight, or I have to send it back to you. But
That's
just
right.
go and know that I would appreciate your support. Spread the word and let everyone know we're ready to do it and make it count.
Excellent. That was great. And again, on behalf of Cedra and the J&Washington team, we really appreciate you spending some time with us, agreeing to this interview, and opportunity to introduce you to our audience. And Cedra, did you want to say anything in closing?
Yeah, thank you so much for your time and everything. We appreciate your time. And the last thing is for my audience is just like, share, and comment on our videos. Just try to be active with us. We will appreciate your effort. Yes, Dad.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Elvis. We
Thank
Thank you
appreciate
very
you.
it.
much. I better get out here and get knocking on these doors again. Appreciate you guys so much.
Get after it. Take care.